That was fabulous. So I'm just going to go right into some of those lyrics. Because I love this first lyric. Take on the morning like your soul's been remade. How many of you jump out of bed in the morning or pop up awake in the morning and you are ready to make a brand new day? Yes. Do you focus on it? Do you say it? Do you jump into it? And understand, because this whole thing about new beginnings is every single moment is a new beginning. But we don't often remember that. We're just caught in this constant movement, when instead, if we just took a moment and said, wait a minute, I can do whatever I want in this moment and make this all brand new. So I love that lyric. Take on the morning like your soul's been remade. And the line that I really love too is, the old has gone away. Guess it didn't affect you the way it affected me. But for me, I really enjoy that concept. The title of my talk today is Reignited. Why is that? Well, it's this. The lyric that really stuck with me was this lyric. Go on and reignite impossible dreams. I love that idea. Reignite impossible dreams. There's another lyric that says, no looking back anymore. So much in this song really touched me, really touches me. The whole idea of it's a new day, a new beginning, all new beginnings. So I have an interesting take on this morning. So if the title of my talk is Reignited, I have to ask you a question. What do you need to reignite in your life right now? What has fallen away? What has lessened in your life? Where in your life do you need to reignite what is going on in your life? It's a really great question. When the song came, when I was listening to the song, it was a great question for me. It's where do I need to reignite? I said to Kevin, we were driving to Palm Springs, and I said to Kevin, I said, are you happy with your life right now? I said, how do you feel about everything that's going on in your life? Are you happy with your life right now? And your answer was? Somewhat. Somewhat. Then I said, but about me? And he didn't answer. No. But here's the thing. He then turned it right back on me and said, what about you? I said, no, somewhat. I get it. And then last night I asked a room full of people that same question, and they all said somewhat. Every single one of them said somewhat. And I was like, are we here to live somewhat lives? I mean, think about that, right, Diana? No, we are not here to live somewhat lives. But there's a reason why it's somewhat. Because there are things maybe we don't like, or things that we're ready to reignite, or things that we know need changing, and perhaps we haven't changed them yet. And we're still living in the business of somewhat. So Ernest Holmes wrote this. He said, life is to be lived in a fullness without limit. Life is to be lived in a fullness without limit. So Ernest Holmes, in, I believe it's Living the Science of Mind, asks a question to his reader, and he says, do you feel the fire in your belly? Do you feel the fire in your belly? Now, for Ernest Holmes, the fire in the belly is God. For us, understanding God as creative energy, as life force, do you feel that creativity in your belly? Do you feel that passion in your belly? Are you passionate about what you're doing? I would wager to say that many people in this universe are in jobs that they are not passionate about. I just asked someone this morning, they got a brand new job. And I said, oh my God, that sounds great. Are you enjoying it? No, it's just a money job. Right? So, and then maybe some of you are just in money jobs because you need the money. But is that really why we're here? And by the way, I'm not telling you to quit those jobs until you make sense out of all of this, because then you'll have a better job, right? So if life is to be lived in a fullness without limit, what's the problem? Well, the problem is we don't necessarily understand 100% that we are limitless. That we, individually, we are limitless human beings, divine human beings. So how do you find that fire? How do you reignite the fire in your belly? Because if you don't, what's going to happen? You're going to do same old, and you will end up being a somewhat happy life. Oh my God, where are you? Joselito, can you grab your phone for a second? would you come up here? So Joselito read this line this morning in meditation. And first of all, it is from who?
Saint.
Oh, take that, yeah.
Yes. It's from Saint Carlo Acutis.
So, it's Carlo Acutis. So while we were in Rome, we're walking through all these churches and stuff, and there's this picture of this 15-year-old boy and who became a saint. And we were just like, who is this? A 15-year-old saint? And then out of nowhere, out of downtown LA, Dr. Joselito shows up and says his name and explains who he is and what he did, and then reads this quote of his.
Yes. So, a little bit about St. Carlo Acutis, can I just share?
Yeah, sure.
So he's the first millennial saint. He was just canonized earlier this month by Pope Leo, and he was born in 1991 and died in 2006 from leukemia at the age of 15. And so I'll just share his words because it's just brilliant.
This is an amazing quote.
Comes from a 15-year-old. He says, "All are born with their own originality, but many die as photocopies. Our destination must be what is infinite, not what is finite. Infinity is our homeland."
Thank you. I so appreciate that. I'll do it. How many of you are living photocopy lives? And you don't need to show your hand. I don't need a show of hands. But think about it. I think about that too. I remember when I became a minister and I was being asked to be a photocopy. I was being told I needed to do it a certain way and be a certain way. Even my own mentor was telling me, you can't do it that way. You shouldn't be singing on stage. They see you as a minister. They don't want to think of you as a performer. And I just said no. I said, I can't do that. This is who I am. All the talents, why would I leave all of my talents out here to come in here and do lectures? I was like, and Dr. Walker, who was my mentor, and I really butted heads for a very long time. I don't know that he ever reconciled the fact that I really turned against everything he was trying to get me to do, but I did. But we also turned against everything religious science, CSL was trying to get us to do, because it wasn't working. And as I watch a lot of those churches fall down and things close and organizations fold, I get it. Are we going to be carbon copies, or are we going to keep growing and living? Are we going to reignite that thing inside of us, that passion inside of us, that creativity inside of us, that thing inside of us that knows what you are here to do, not with destiny on its mind, but because it knows what you are, who you are, because it is who you are. So that's really what I'm here to talk about today. So, fires. We deal with a lot of fires here. Do you know how fires start? Shout it out. How do you think a fire starts? Spark. Okay, a spark. Great. Where does that spark come from? Ignition, yes. What? A match, okay. But a match isn't going to create a spark unless someone actually lights it. Well, if it's laying there and the sun hits it, I guess it could blow up. But somebody dropped it and left it there. So do you know that, I looked this up, most fires that we experience in our world are caused by humans. And most fires are caused by carelessness. Carelessness. So this idea of reignited, this idea of how are you going to reignite what you need in your heart, in your life? Well, I want to bring it up that if our mind is the area that we must ignite, then clearly we have to light a fire in our minds, which is attached to our hearts, which is attached to our bellies, because it's all one thing. So, if you think of your mind as the forest, and you think of the fire that gets lit, and if carelessness is what causes most fires, then how much carelessness is there in the way you use your mind? And what kind of fires are you lighting? Are they careless fires? Are they specific fires for a specific reason with the passion that directs it and it does good? Or are you just kind of willy-nilly allowing these fires to just take place? And then guess what happens? You spend most of your life putting out fires as opposed to benefiting at the warmth of a fire that you created. So think about that. So when I'm saying reignite, I'm saying use your mind so cleanly, so clearly, so passionately that you are only lighting those fires that you want, and you are not carelessly causing the destruction of a life that could be so amazing. Or, just from that quote, you are not moving towards getting to your final day and realizing you became a carbon copy of something else, or someone else, or what the world expected you to be. I am not the kind of minister the world expects ministers to be. Has anyone noticed that? Yeah, right. Most of them, thank you. And neither are my students. I mean, I actually licensed Tiffany. And I licensed Eric. And I licensed Liza. All these people. I mean, no one else would have licensed those people. That's not true. But they'd have quit before they ever got to the license, trust me, if they were trying to do what most people want us to be doing. But that's what, and Genevieve, oh my God, I licensed Genevieve.
Amazing.
You are amazing, yes. Yes, and all those four-letter words make sense. So here's the question. Back to the same question. What is it that you are looking to ignite that you need to carefully use your mind to do? I mean carefully. So, this is a new day. The old has gone away. It really is time. I have two things to say about this. When I first heard it, it was about age for me. I was like, yes, I am done with this age crap. You know, I was like, no, I'm done. The old has gone away. I'm back to my youthful self. But that's not what it's really about. That's just the ego fighting with myself about aging. And I still have moments. Anybody have moments where aging is a little annoying? Just a little. Yeah, I still have those moments. Lest you think like I don't think about those things too. But I do. But they're far and few in between. And they're getting less and less, and they have less and less power. So that was that half of it. The other half is, how much old crap are you still carrying around with you? How many of your old habits, your old patterns, how many of your old failures, how many of your old girlfriends and boyfriends are you still dragging around with you? The memories, the ideas. How often do you turn around and look at the past? Because it's not there. The only thing that's there right now is this particular moment, which is filled with possibility. So, new beginnings require us to make sure that the old has gone away so that we can open up the channels to the new. Tony Robbins said this: the secret of unleashing your true power is setting goals that are exciting enough that they truly inspire your creativity and ignite your passion. Where's your ceiling? Where's the ceiling on your life? How high have you set your capability to go? Because guess what? That ceiling is self-made. You put it there. You put the limitations on yourself. There are no limitations. All you have to do is tap into who you know you truly are. And he's exactly right here. And Kevin and I have talked about this since yesterday, since last night's service. It was like, is what we want to do exciting enough for us? Are we doing what really makes us passionate? We're about to open a brand new play. I'm directing a play. I haven't directed a play in a few years, really, a full play. And it's hard. I mean, it really is, between actors imploding and set designers giving me a set that I didn't know there were two doors, or I would have staged the show with the two doors, and I've just finished staging the entire show. So great, I'll go back and put the two doors in. All of that could be really annoying. Do I sound annoyed? And I'm not complaining about any of it, those of you in mental muscle. This is not a complaint. I am just showing you how annoying it can be. But when you're passionate about it, it's not annoying. It's just something you do. You keep doing it, and you do it again, and you fix this, you fix that. We're in great shape with this show, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting to watch words come off a page, jump into an actor or actress's body, and then watch what comes from it. That is so exciting to me, so passionate. And this play is such a great metaphysical play in the end. So it's been great to be back in that world. But the question is, are they exciting enough that they truly inspire my creativity and ignite my passion? Yes. And you know what? I think for every one of us in this room, it is time to make the decision to say, if it's not, I need to be out of it. Period. I have a thing on my wall that says, if I can't put my heart in it, I will take myself out of it. And sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I just do it anyway. Well, no more. I think it's time for all of us, because if we want somewhat lives, then have at it. Keep doing what we're doing. But if we want lives that really, truly matter, where we go to our grave as the infinite expression of creativity, then we need to start really making sense out of all of this. So Ernest Holmes said this. He said, the more power one gives to his thought, the more completely he believes that his thought has power, the more power it will have. So the question I have for you right now is this. Just how much power do you believe your thought has? I often say to practitioners when I'm teaching them, if you're not demonstrating, you clearly, even if you know all the right words for a treatment, if you're not demonstrating, something's off. Something is off, because this is an experiential science. What you are, who you are, manifests into your world. So you need to know that you are thinking, what you're thinking, and that those thoughts will create your experience. So this whole idea of how much power does your mind have? How much power do you have with the things you think? Everything you think is a spark, and it ignites something. Everything you think is a spark, and it ignites something. Many of those sparks are willy-nilly, they're careless, but they're still igniting something. You can't throw a spark and have it just not matter, because it does. Even if you're not paying attention, it matters. It ignites something. So don't you think it's really time for us all to start to really understand how powerful we are and take note that that power is being used and used on purpose and consciously? So this is something I do all the time, and I thought this was a perfect time to bring this back up. Experiential. I want you to name something you know you created with your thoughts. Can be good, can be bad, can be anything. Just give it some thought. Something that you know you created with your thoughts. Joselito, what did you think?
My loving relationship.
Okay, your husband, your marriage. Yes, there you go. You created that with your thoughts. I would say the same thing. My love life was a disaster in New York. It was just a disaster. I had boyfriends, girlfriends. They were just dead bodies in the road. It was terrible. I was like the type of person, people would look at me and go, don't go near him. He's toxic. He breaks every heart. I mean, I really was. I'm telling you the truth. That's who I was by 32, 33 years old. So I decided, and then I met Eric Butterworth. I went to Unity Church. Someone dragged me to a Unity Church, actually by accident, but I got there. And I heard him, the truth shall set you free, and everything changed. And I decided to stop dating completely. I made the choice. I used my mind. I used my thoughts. I stopped dating, which was unheard of. Stopped dating for an entire year. I went to therapy. I tried to figure out what was wrong with my whole concept of love and relationships. I spent a whole year going through that. At the end of that year, my career skyrocketed. I was starring in everything that came along, and I met Kevin. And that was, as we know, well, no, it was actually 38 years ago we got married. Yeah. So that's how this works. So for me, what else? Ginny, did you come up with one?
I created my relationship.
You created Cal?
I knew I was doing it. I mean, it was a conscious decision.
Because you went after him.
I did. I was sent to the universe.
Yes. For those of you online, this is Ginny and Cal, yabba dabba dabba honeymoon. Ginny said that what she created with her mind was Cal. She knew she wanted him and she went after him and she got him. Good for you.
Thank goodness.
That's what I say. Craig, what about you?
Well, relationship with my sister, but just consciously growing it. Consciously growing it and not just having it happen.
Making a choice to consciously grow a relationship with your sister.
Which is happening now a lot for me, just making this relationship is my...
Yeah, great. No, that's great. So for all of you, you all probably had an answer to this. Something that you knew you created with your mind. So the question is, what do you want to create now? Where do you want to go now? So here's what I'm going to have you do and take a look at this week as you go through the week. I am thinking. What am I thinking? And do I want to live the results of what I am thinking? Many of you have seen this in a class I taught years ago, but it's time to bring it back to really remember. First of all, I am thinking. You're thinking. Right now, you are thinking. You need to ask yourself, what am I thinking? And then, do I want to live the results of what I am thinking? Because here's the deal. You need to make sure that you know and want the fires you are igniting and not create major destruction by misusing your mind in such a casual way that you are not only not getting what you want, but you're getting a lot of what you don't want. So what do you think? Do you think this is a good time to take back your mind and reignite the passion that's inside of you? I know every single one of you has something really exciting inside of you that you want to do, you want to be, places you want to go, things you want to do, things you want to have, relationships you want to pursue. Look at Diana, 80, would you say 84? At 84 years old, she's starting a whole new movement of love letters, which is phenomenal. And I'm so excited to get to do some of that. So what's yours? What is your love letters? What are you ready to pursue? You have a mind. You have the spark of the belly, the fire of the belly inside. It's time for you to take that fire, put it into your mind, and directly move it exactly where you want it to go. Let's create fires that we benefit from. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.